Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. Good afternoon, good morning, I guess, still, as it's only 10 a.m. here in Cleveland, Ohio, as the Case Western Reserve University Spartans getting ready to take on Emory University in a doubleheader to wrap up this four-game series here between the two University Athletic Association foes. So far, it's been all Emory in the two games of the series. They've outscored the Spartans 20-1 over the first two games. In Case Western Reserve hoping to reverse things today. It's been a long stretch, especially because those first two games of the series have been played over a 3-day period. So it certainly feels a little bit like the world is coming to an end for the Spartans, but that could change very quickly with a couple of wins today. And in fact, if you go back to 2017, a few years ago, it was a similar series, that time at Emory, where Case Western Reserve looked a little listless in the first two games, won the final two, and walked away with a split, and would put them right back in a strong position to contend for a UA championship with two more wins here today. But certainly their work cut out for them against the good Emory team, which comes in with a 15-9 record. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for the Emory Eagles, who are 4-1 in UA play. Jacob Grossman hitting leadoff for the Eagles, followed by Henry Polinsky, the DH, right fielder Matthew Sicoli, in right field and batting third, and then Ellis Schwartz, the center fielder, hits cleanup. Tyler McLaughlin, the first baseman, hitting fifth. Jack Halloran, the third baseman, hitting sixth. Walker Wolf getting the start in left field and batting seventh. Zach Wasserloff playing shortstop and batting eighth. And then Josh Katz catching, and he will hit ninth. Won the final two and walked away with the split, and would put them right back. For Case Western Reserve defensively, by the way, pitching for Emory will be Ryan Reynolds. We'll tell you more about him when he takes the mound in the bottom of the inning. For Case Western Reserve defensively, some changes today, as you might expect after a bit of a lackluster start to the series. Over at first base is Zach Carinci. Second baseman is Josiah Harris. The shortstop today will be Matt Trout, who's seen most of his playing time in center field this year. And then at third base, Owen Levinson. In the outfield, left fielder will be Jay Smith. The center fielder is Logan Andreyko. And the right fielder is Nick Harms. Doing the catching is Jack Anderson. And on the mound is the sophomore righty out of the Cincinnati area, Kyle Geerding. Geerding, 4-0 on the season, has arguably been the best starter this year for the Spartans. He has a 2.88 ERA through 6 appearances, including 4 starts. And in 25 innings, he struck out 27 and walked just 8. He surrendered 30 hits for a 283 opponent's average and has given up 13 total runs, just 8 of them earned. In the outfield, the Emory starter is slowly working his way across the warning track as the first pitch misses down and in for a ball. 1-0 from Geerding to Jacob Grossman, who had a tremendous day on Thursday, going 5 for 5, and then followed that with an 0 for 5 performance yesterday, as that one misses for ball 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch from Geerding. Called strike on the inside corner. The count goes to 2-1. So Geerding getting a start on a day where the Spartans have a need for a win as the count goes to 2-2, another inside fastball. Two-two pitch. That misses inside, and the count goes full, 3-2. The Spartans' bullpen, especially their two best arms at the back end of the games, that's Tyler Horvath and Patrick O'Connor, both available today. But again, 2 games to play. As the fastball down low, ball 4, and it's a walk to lead off the inning. That being said, if you're Geerding, you've got to get deep in this game and give the Spartans a good start. If for nothing else, just morale of the team, you need to give these Spartans a good start today. Henry Polinsky, the lefty, moves up in the lineup to the second spot. He was hitting further down in the lineup, but keep in mind the Spartans started lefties each of the first 2 days. As that ball hit in the air, deep towards right field, way back, looking up his arms, and it's out of here. First pitch swinging, Polinsky cracks one over the wall in right, and Emory jumps out to a 2-0 lead, 2 batters into the game. Well, that didn't take long as Polinsky left little doubt about that one. His first home run of the season, and it gives Emory a 2-0 lead, 2 batters into the game against Geerding. Well, we were talking about how the Spartans needed a big start here today from Geerding, and so far a bit of a rocky start here. We'll see if he can settle in. As the first pitch fastball catches the inside corner to Sokoli, 0-1. Sokoli hitting a .356 on the campaign. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. That one off the edge of the bat, and the count goes to 0-2. Well, if you're Geerding, you take a deep breath and you try to refocus yourself. Yes, it's a bit of a shocking start to the game, but certainly an opportunity to resettle yourself here. As the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and a good job there by Geerding to settle back in and get the strikeout for the first out of the day. So Sokoli down swinging, and that'll bring up Ellis Schwartz, who is batting at .389 on the year. Schwartz hit a towering fly ball home run yesterday. He went 3 for 4 in the game with a double and a home run, 2 singles, or 1 single, I should say, as he takes that outside for ball 1, 1-0. Now the 1-0. Just off the outside corner, 2-0. Now the 2-0 from Geerding. Swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup there, and that brings the count to 2-1. Again, if you're Geerding, can't change the past, just have to focus here. And if you go back and, if he's able to go 7 innings deep in this game and all he allows is 2 runs, that's a pretty good day. And so you now have to look at this as an opportunity for Geerding, if you're Kyle, just to be able to settle in here and see what you could do. Here's the 2-2 on the way. Fastball outside. And it's 3-2, full count. Pitch count beginning to climb a little for Geerding, who's up to 15 in the inning now. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, ground ball, first base, and it's foul. And so we'll get another 3-2 upcoming to Schwartz. Schwartz has been hitting out of the 2 spot in the lineup, but against the righty, slides into the cleanup spot. He's having a huge season for Emory. 6 doubles, 3 triples. The home run yesterday was his 4th of the season. He's driven in 32 runs. Out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He takes that one on the inside corner for a called strike 3. And so the second straight strikeout for Geerding. And there's now 2 gone. And that will bring up Tyler McLaughlin, who's a power threat in his own right. He's hit 7 this season, although, again, for the most part, the Spartans have kept him relatively in check this year. Pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. And another fastball. That one just a little low. The movement doesn't appear to be on the fastball from Geerding today. When that pitch is working really well for him, it's got a lot of natural run to it. The 1-1. Down low, 2-1. And by run, I mean that he'll typically cut it back against a righty. He'll come back in towards the right-handed hitter. And he could particularly use that to his advantage, trying to get that fastball in that outside corner. You saw that had a little run to it and just gets in under the hands of McLaughlin for a called strike 2. 2-2 the count. 2-2, 2 away. Payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled off, and we'll get another 2-2 count coming up. Here's the 2-2 offering. And taken, down and out. Good curve. And the count now full, 3-2. Line drive left field, charging in and off the glove of the left fielder, Jay Smith. And that'll drop in. An error there that allows the runner to reach, as that one pops off of Smith's glove. And McLaughlin will be on at first base with 2 away. Well, we've mentioned throughout this weekend it's been a bit of a sloppy series defensively for the Spartans. And there, Jay Smith in left, who is a catcher by trade, but certainly has plenty of experience in the outfield. Unable to hold on to that one. So now the inning continues. It's going to bring up Geerding's pitch count, if nothing else, as he faces Jack Halloran here. Halloran, a third baseman, hitting at .312 on the year, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Fastball at the letters for a strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. In the air, towards the gap, shallow center. On Draco coming in, diving his arms. And he makes the catch for the out. The signal coming from the umpire down at first base, who had it all the way. No argument, it appears, from Emory there. And that will end the inning. So a really nice catch to end the first. However, a 2-run home run by Henry Polinsky, and it gives Emory a 2-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the first inning. So we'll go into the bottom of the first, 2-0 Emory. We'll see if the Spartans can answer back, and let's get you that Case Western Reserve batting order as they enter the bottom of the first with a 2-run deficit to try to overcome. Leading things off will be Jack Anderson, the catcher, who has a 16-game hitting streak. Josiah Harris, the second baseman, hits second. He'll be followed by Nick Harms, the right fielder, in the 3 spot, and then Zach Carinci playing first base and hitting cleanup today. Sean Donahue batting 5th. He'll be the DH, followed by Jay Smith, the left fielder. Matt Trout, the shortstop, hits 7th, followed by Logan Andraco, the center fielder, and then Owen Levinson, the third baseman, in the 9 spot. For Emory University defensively today, at first base, Tyler McLaughlin. Jacob Grossman playing second, and he'll be joined in the middle infield by Zach Wasserloff, the shortstop, and then the third baseman, Jack Halloran, will hit 6th. In the outfield, left fielder will be Walker Wolf. The center fielder will be Ellis Schwartz, and the right fielder is Matthew Sicoli. Doing the catching is Josh Katz, and on the mound is Ryan Reynolds, who enters the game with a 3-2 overall record, including a .565 ERA through 6 appearances and 5 starts. That includes 1 complete game. Reynolds has thrown 28 2/3 innings this season. He struck out only 19 but walked only 6, so another pitch-to-contact guy. He has allowed a .319 opponent's average. He's given up 38 total hits in those 28 innings, so a little bit over a hit an inning. He has allowed 21 runs, 18 of them have been earned. Reynolds coming off one of his best outings of the season against NYU, and while the numbers wouldn't show that at the end of the game, he held NYU hitless through the first 5 innings before allowing a double in the 6th. Then in the 7th, things fell apart a little bit, gave up 2 runs in the 7th and 3 runs in the 8th before ending his outing after 8 solid innings. 8 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts against NYU for Reynolds his last time out. Reynolds, a sophomore out of Roseland, New Jersey, Del Barton High School. 6'2", 170 pounds, and his first pitch to Jack Anderson is taken up high for a ball, 1-0. Anderson extended his hitting streak to 16 games with a hit as that's a called strike, 1-1 in yesterday's game. But again, Jack showing some signs of slowing up from the pace he was on earlier in the year. There are no signs of slowing up as it's lined into shallow right field for a base hit. So Jack Anderson keeps on hitting. And he now is on at first, a stolen base threat as well. And that'll bring up Josiah Harris. That's now a 17-game hitting streak for Anderson. And we'll bring Josiah Harris to the plate. Hitting at .282 on the year, but he's had a nice stretch here. Batting out of the 2 spot. No signs of bunting as he chops that one down the third baseline. Foul, 0-1. So Anderson will retreat to first. Again, Anderson is a stolen base threat. He's taken 8 bases on 10 tries this year. That's the best among all Spartan players. Harris at the plate, 11 hits and 39 at-bats, including a pair of doubles. Throw goes down to first to make Anderson dive back in. Again, while it seems like the sky is falling today for the Spartans after the last 2 days, you can turn things pretty quickly with a big day today. And again, you have to find a way to try to get 2 wins against Emory. The 0-1 on the way. Harris squares to bunt, takes it up high for a ball, and it's 1-1. Anderson with the leadoff single. He's on at first. Reynolds on the mound working against Harris, has a 1-1 count. Nick Harms is out on deck, and he's been swinging a good bat lately. The 1-1. Off the plate for a ball, 2-1. The last thing you want to do here if you're Reynolds is let those first 2 base runners reach in front of Harms after your team spotted you 2 runs in the top of the first. The 2-1. Reynolds delivers. Ground ball, third base side, but foul. Just to the left side of that third baseline. It's been a little hit or miss for Reynolds this year. He's had some really good starts and then some less good starts. Did pitch 5 shutout innings against Covenant in a 10-0 Emory win. Against Birmingham Southern, the top team in Division III. We'll finish that here as Anderson slides into second safely with a stolen base. It's a ball at the plate meanwhile, and that brings the count to 3-2. And now runner in scoring position, 9th stolen base of the year for Anderson. He pitched well against Birmingham Southern despite taking a loss. Scattered 8 hits over 5 1/3, gave up just 2 runs, 1 of them earned, struck out 3, walked 1. Here's the 3-2. And did he hold up? He did. Boy, awfully close, but the umpire in the field. Keep in mind that with the runner on at second, the first base umpire shifted towards second base, and so doesn't have as good a view as he would down the line to see if the swing went around. Coach Twardowski, the Emory coach, not happy about that call. And he's arguing that here. I think the argument from Coach Twardowski is the umpire in the field was out of position to make that call, but that is the umpire's call that is out there. Again, with a right-handed hitter at the plate, typically it's the umpire down at first base who gets the call to check swing, but in that situation with the umpire shifted, the umpire was standing just to the second base or the first base side of second base. And so I think Coach Twardowski now will get, well, here we go, a ball called. So no pitch there, and a balk is both runners will move up a base, and now it's second and third. And here comes Coach Twardowski out to the mound. And I have a feeling that while he's going to talk to his pitcher here and calm him down, he might stick around long enough to have a talk with the umpire as well when they come around to break this up, and so we'll see about that. So all of a sudden, the tying runs in scoring position with Nick Harms at the plate. The other conversation is, what do you do with Harms here? And it might be, well, do you pitch carefully around him? I don't think you flat out, certainly you don't flat out walk him in this situation. I don't think. It's a little bit too early to talk about intentional walks. But if you're a coach, so I think it's a little too early to talk about walking Harms. As that one swung on, driven in the air, deep to right field, going back, looking up, and it is off the wall. One run comes in to score. Holding it third is Harris, and boy, that was a towering fly ball. I think Coach Englander is saying it went out of here. It should be a home run. The umpires will discuss. And let's see. I thought off the bat that one was gone. We'll take a look as the umpires will discuss what happened here. I don't know how that one ended back on the field if it goes to the other side of the wall, unless it hits that berm on the other side of the perfect angle. The umpires are going to discuss this. So first pitch swinging, Harms either has a long single or a three-run homer to give the Spartans the lead. Either way, a run comes across, maybe more than that. That was one of those majestic shots from Nick Harms, who continues to swing it well. And let's see the call from the umpires here. Again, it was hard to tell from here. And it looks like they're going to leave it as a single for Harms. And so a run scores on the play. It'll be first and third with nobody out, it appears, and Zach Carinci coming to the plate. Let's see if we could see on the replay what happened, but honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to see very well from the replay here. Yeah, I don't know how that ended up back on the field if it did go over, and I think that's the question. The only thing I could think of is that if there's a hole under the fence, maybe that the ball hit over and then rolled back under. But, I mean, I can't imagine, though, that that's... It would be hard for the ball to get back in play if it went over. And so that's where I just don't know what would have happened here, but it certainly looked off the bat like that one was going to clear the fence. Either way, it appears that this is going to stay as a long single for Nick Harms.
It really did look like it cleared, I think hit the tree and then rolled back.
The umpires, after discussions with both coaches,
he would have seen it bounce off the fence, and it rolled far into the field. If it hits the fence, it's going to die on the corner.
And again, discussion continuing here.
I guarantee that's what Matt's saying. How did it roll into the outfield if it hit the fence? If it hits the fence, it dies. I think it cleared the fence, hit something, and then rolled back under and rolled onto the outfield. You saw the outfielder's demeanor. He would have looked like home run.
The umpires are still going to be discussing this here. Yeah, I'm looking at a replay of that. I just don't know how that did what it did. I don't know. It's an interesting call there. either way, it looks like, and Coach Twardowski certainly still arguing here something. I'm not sure what he's arguing about because,
That was garbage. That should have been a home run.
again, I think it's just tough to tell what happened there. I don't know, frankly. But either way, it's going to go in the books as a long single for Harms, who thought he had his 6th home run of the year. Instead, first and third, nobody out, and the tying run at third base for Zach Carinci, who takes the first pitch down and in for a ball 1-0. Carinci, one of the hotter hitters in this Spartan lineup. His average up to 316 on the year. We'll see if Harms is running as the 1-0 on the way. Long stop for Reynolds, who now delivers on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Harms has stolen 5 bases on 6 attempts. He's got good speed at first. Over at third base is Harris. You know, it's one of those where, and again, it's tough to tell, and you certainly don't fault the Case Western Reserve team or the base runners for thinking that was a home run as another throw down to first. Good quick move by Reynolds there. But that's probably one where you would be hoping the runners would be going a little harder. Throw goes down to second, sails into center field, and that will allow the runner to move up. So it'll be a stolen base for Harms. Throw into third, not in time. And so Harms gets a stolen base and then moves up on the throwing error. Harris scores on the error, currently an unearned run, and we're all tied at 2. 2-2 the score. Meanwhile, it was a strike at the plate, so the count goes to 1-2. Still nobody out in the inning.
Look good on the catcher for freaking. That wasn't her? I didn't know if it was going. I didn't think it was.
Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Carinci down swinging. And that'll be the first out of the inning as Sean Donahue will come up. So a big at bat here for Donahue, who can give the Spartans a 1-run lead even with an out. Harms the runner at third, good speed, so a ball hit to the outfield should drive in the run as Donahue, a 182 hitter in his first year of collegiate baseball. Stands at the plate, takes a big cut and misses 0-1. Donahue starting to see more time. This is his 3rd start of the season. He's 2 for 11 with a double. He's driven in 4. Someone that the Spartans, I know, like for the future of this team. As the 0-1 on the way, now squaring to bunt. And he chases after it, and it's a strike, 0-2. Interesting with Donahue bunting there. Not sure if he was bunting on his own, if that was off of a sign from Coach England, you're down at third. Either way, it's an 0-2 count, 1 away. And it stays up high for a ball, 1-2. So Reynolds in some trouble here in the first after his team spotted him a 2-run lead. It's now a 2-2 ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted in the air, foul territory, and that will get out of play. And so the count goes to 1-2. Harms the runner at third with 1 away. Up and in to Donahue, 2-2. Big runner at third for the Spartans, who have a chance to take their first lead of the series. The 2-2 on the way to Donahue. Outside, 3-2 full count. So Reynolds had Donahue ahead in the count 0-2. But Donahue able to work it full, and now a 3-2 pitch upcoming with 1 out in the inning and a runner at third. Here's a 3-2. Breaking ball hit in the air, center field, relatively shallow. Schwartz lines it up. He'll catch it. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by the pitcher. Throw to the plate, not in time. And a sacrifice fly for Donahue, his 5th RBI of the season, scores Nick Harms. And the Spartans answer Emory's 2 in the top of the first with 3 of their own so far here in the bottom of the first inning. And it's a 3-2 Case Western Reserve lead.
The left fielder, number 9, Jay Smith. He pitched one time, but we were like getting shelled. So I think it's more like a let's just get him in. But obviously not earlier.
So now the batter will be Jay Smith with the bases empty and 2 outs. But with his team leading 1-0, Smith been a little cold lately. Now batting at .218, squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes it outside for a ball, 1-0. Jay, 12 hits and 55 at bats this year. 2 of those have been doubles. He also has a home run. And that ball hit in the air towards center field, deep but playable for Schwartz, who settles underneath and will make the catch, and that ends the inning. But the Spartans able to pick up 3 runs on 2 hits and an error, and they take a 3-2 lead. The first lead of the series for Case Western Reserve as we move into the top of the second. Case Western Reserve with a 1-run lead. Bottom of the order for Emory due up. Wolf, Wasserloff, and Katz when we return. Welcome back once again as Case Western Reserve University with a 3-2 lead over Emory. Wolf, Wasserloff, and Katz due up here in the inning. For Emory, which now trails by a run, and a chance for Kyle Geerding, who after allowing a walk and a home run to start the game has settled in to get the final 3 outs of the first and delivers a first pitch strike to Wolf, who's getting his first start of the series after coming off the bench in one of the 2 games. Wolf making his 10th start overall this year and hits that one off the edge of the bat. Fair ball. Throw goes down to first, and that'll be an out. 2-3 on the putout. Wolf, I think, was saying it went off of him. But the home plate umpire called it a fair ball. And so a quick out there for Geerding. So Geerding, who could use a quick inning, is at 29 pitches now, will face Zach Wasserloff, the 8-hitter in the lineup, batting at .345 on the year. First pitch fastball up high, 1-0. Now the 1-0. 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0. And they call that ball 4. So 4-pitch walk to Wasserloff. And that'll put the runner on first with one away for Josh Katz, the catcher. Katz hitting at .278 on the year. Nice game yesterday for Katz, who went 2 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Breaking ball to start the at-bat off against Katz, and it's in there for a strike, 0-1. Wasserloff, a threat to steal, 8 stolen bases on 9 attempts this year. Fastball just misses, and it's 1-1. You could tell, and it might be a product of some of the cold weather today, that Geerding's pitches don't quite have the same movement on them that they normally do. But that changeup has looked good, and he comes back with it there, brings the count to 1-2 as Cat swings and misses. I mentioned before that two-seamer isn't quite moving like it normally does. We're not really seeing the same break on his curve that he normally has. Boy, that had some movement to it as the two-seamer ran back in but misses a little high, and it's 2-2. 1 out, runner at first. 3-2, Case Western Reserve leading. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. Could be 2 if they hurry. Trout to second for 1. On to first in the dirt, but scooped out by Carinci. Nice play. Turned 6-4-3 by the Spartans to get the double play, and that ends the inning. So a 1-out walk issued, but working around it are the Spartans. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the order for Case Western Reserve with Trout, Draco, and Levinson due up when we return. Ryan Reynolds looking to bounce back from a rocky first. Allowed 3 runs on 2 hits in that inning, as the Spartans lead 3-2 over Emory. It'll be the bottom of the order. Trout, Draco, and Levinson due up. Trout, who's playing short today. You saw that last play. He had an opportunity short. He's played a little bit of shortstop this season, as that one catches for a strike, but I was kind of laughing to myself a little bit. He whipped that ball over to short like he was kind of trying to get it over from center field to the shortstop, or to the second baseman, instead of from the shortstop position to the second baseman. Put a little extra on it. I'm not sure Harris was quite ready for it, but he handled it well, and the Spartans were able to turn the double play. Here, Trout behind in the count, 0-2 to Reynolds, as the pitch on the way, and that one sent foul. Trout kind of at that point in the season where he's going to have to make some adjustments at the plate to try to adjust to pitching a little bit. As the 0-2 on the way, inside, 1-2. No home runs for Trout this season. 15 runs batted in, but that production has slowed down a little as the season has gone on. He's been a little bit chase happy at times at the plate. The 1-2. That one misses. 2-2. Trout, Draco, Levinson, 7, 8, and 9 in the order this inning for the Spartans. We're going to try to keep it going offensively after a 3-run first. That one lined into center field, base hit. So a single into center for Trout. And the leadoff man is on once again. Trout, pretty good speed out there on the base paths. 2 stolen bases on as many attempts this year. So the stolen base numbers aren't there, but he's a guy who can run when he does get on. And Logan Draco at the plate. Andrejko hitting a 241 on the season with 2 runs batted in. Throw down to first. And again, it's a good quick move from Reynolds, who has kept the runners off balance a bit today. Runner goes, the pitch swung on, ground to third. Nice play by Halloran, only play is at first. And he gets it there in time for the out, but boy, a little hit and run and well executed by the Spartans. As Trout was running on the play and Andrejko just laced one down that third base line, and it took a really nice play for Halloran to not only keep that in the infield, but with the runner going, probably to keep a run from scoring. If that gets past him and into the corner, Trout's probably coming around from first on that play. Instead, he's at second with 1 out now, and the batter is Owen Levinson, who's a .348 hitter on the season, batting here with a runner in scoring position and 1 away. Curveball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Levinson, 8 hits and 23 at-bats. He's been getting more regular playing time lately. This is his 8th start of the season. On the outside corner for a strike, it's 0-2. Levinson, a good defensive player, and if he's able to hit it all for you, to be able to get his bat in the lineup and keep his glove going as well, is a real benefit, and something Coach Englander is the Spartans have looked a little sloppy. And let's see, they'll say he disengaged with the mound, and that's why there was no balk there. If Levinson hits enough to keep his glove in the lineup, that's a real benefit. This ball blooped in the air, center field. Lining up is Schwartz. He'll get under it, make the catch. Trout started to go, and I think he might have pulled something coming off the base there. Either way, it's a fly out for the second out of the inning. And let's see if Trout's okay, as he's kind of rubbing his leg. And I think he might have hurt himself coming off of that bag a little bit. He seems to be okay walking it off. And now he'll be at second base with 2 away, and Jack Anderson coming to the plate. Anderson extended his hitting streak to 17 games. And pops this one up right field. Playable out there is coming in and making the catch. On the run is Sicoli for the final out of the inning. And that ends the second. No runs on a hit. The Spartans leave a man stranded at second, and we'll move to the third. Top of the order for Emory. Grossman and Polinsky and Sicoli due up. It's 3-2, Case Western Reserve when we come back. Kyle Geerding working with a 1-run lead. It's 3-2, Case Western Reserve. Geerding has not given up a hit since Henry Polinsky's 2-run homer in the first. The only hit allowed today by Geerding. And he'll face Polinsky second in the order this inning, but it'll be the leadoff hitter Jacob Grossman leading things off. Grossman walked to lead the game off and then scored on the home run by Polinsky a batter later. First pitch on the way from Geerding. And he comes with a breaking ball for a strike to Grossman, 0-1. Grossman hitting at 320. 5 for 10 in this series. All 5 of his hits came in the game on Thursday, and then put up an 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts yesterday. So feast or famine for Grossman, who pops this one up into right field. Harms there, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 gone. So 1 away, and a chance here for Polinsky with the bases empty to try to go deep again. He ambushed Geerding on the first pitch of his at-bat in the first inning, hitting a ball deep over the wall in right field for a 2-run home run. First pitch from Geerding. Polinsky squaring a bunt. Geerding coming down and in, and Polinsky jumps out of the way as the count goes to 1-0. Now the 1-0 to Polinsky. Fastball fouled away, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Two and two. Another one fouled away by Polinsky. Two and two count, 1 away. Bases empty here in the third. Emory batting, down a run. As the 2-2 from Geerding. Breaking ball got away from him. He's upset with himself at that one as the count goes full. That's one of those where if you're Geerding, it's you've got Polinsky set up the way you want. You've got your pitch selected that you're pretty sure you're going to get a swing and a miss on. And then you miss with the pitch. It slips out of your hands. Here, this one grounds to second. Nice play by Harris, who throws on to first to get the out. That one got past the mound, and Harris had a charge hard throw across his body on the run and was able to make the play for the second out of the inning. And so Polinsky retired, and that will bring up Matthew Sokoli, who struck out swinging in the first. First pitch on the way. Swung on, chopper out to the mound. Geerding there, high hop, has to hurry the throw to first, but gets it there in time. And Geerding with a 1-2-3 inning here in the third as he retires the Emory. Top of the order, in order. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Case Western Reserve. Harris, Harms, and Carinci due up when we return. 3-2, the Spartans with an early lead. Reynolds set to begin his third inning of work for Emory. It's 3-2. Case Western Reserve with the lead. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Harris, Harms, and Carinci due up.
Batting for the Spartans, second baseman number 1, Josiah Harris.
Harris, who walked in the first on a 3-2 pitch, came around to score eventually. One of the 3 runs for the Spartans. Harris hitting a 282 overall. First pitch on the way from Reynolds. On the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Checks his swing and takes it for a strike 0-2. So Reynolds filling up the strike zone here. He's now up to 36 pitches in the game, which is fairly manageable so far. 24 of those have been strikes, so 2/3 of his pitches today in the zone. And a little bit better than that as he gets a swing and a miss from Harris on the breaking ball for strike 3. So 3 pitches and a strikeout for Reynolds to start the third as Harris goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Reynolds. And that will bring Nick Harms to the plate. Now, the play in the first, really, the call by the umpires ended up not mattering in the end, but Harms appeared to hit his 6th home run of the season and was going for the 6th home run of the season again there, but the ball either bounced off the fence, and frankly, I couldn't tell from my position, but either bounced off the fence or went over the fence. Apparently, there's a second fence right behind the outfield wall that it might have hit and then rolled back into play underneath the fence as Harms swings and misses at that one, 1-2. Either way, Harms was credited with a base hit and an RBI on that play. Could have had his 6th home run of the season. As the 1-2 outside, 2-2. And Harms on that play, he certainly thought he had the home run. He had a pretty big bat flip afterwards. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Harms down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the third for Reynolds, who has a chance for a quick inning here. And we'll face Zach Carinci, who besides Harris and Harms this inning is the only other strikeout victim of the day for Reynolds. He struck out swinging in the first. First pitch on the way. Up high for a ball, 1-0 to Carinci, who's hitting at .313. Called strike. 1-1. That ball hit in the air, deep towards left field, way back at the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Or is it gone? No, it's a home run. Home run Zach Carinci. For Carinci, his first of the season. And that gives Case Western Reserve a 4-2 lead. Well, we were talking yesterday about how the wind was blowing hard and out towards right. Today, there's no wind. Just a clear, crisp air out there that Carinci was able to push the ball through and over the wall and left for his first home run of the season. Called strike there as Sean Donahue falls behind in the count, 0-1. Donahue, a sacrifice fly in his first trip to the plate. It's down and out for a ball, 1-1. And the curveball freezes him. Again, for Reynolds, it looked like he was cruising towards a quick inning after 2 strikeouts to start the frame, but Zach Carinci had something to say about that. So 4-2 the score. And it's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. So Donahue down looking. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Reynolds. But a solo home run for Zach Carinci, his first of the season, extends the Case Western Reserve lead to 2 runs. 4-2 the score as we move into the fourth. Schwartz, McLaughlin, and Halloran due up for Emory when we come back. Well, now it's a 2-run lead for Kyle Geerding to work with after the solo home run by Zach Carinci, his first of the season. It's easy to overlook what Carinci has done in the last few games with what Jack Anderson has been doing and what Nick Harms has been doing. As the first pitch on the way to Ellis Schwartz, who struck out looking in his first at bat, taken for a called strike 0-1. But one thing to think about is that Carinci now a 12-game hitting streak of his own to go along with the 17-game hitting streak for Anderson. Fouled off, and the count goes to 0-2. Geerding 47 pitches to start the inning, so this will be his 50th on the third pitch of the frame. Ahead in the count, 0-2 on Schwartz. And that breaking ball misses outside, 1-2. That one got away from him as well, 2-2. It's clearly a day where you could tell Geerding is struggling a little bit with the movement on his pitches, and maybe now the movement has come back a little bit because it seems to be moving a bit more than he expects now. As that one in the air, center field, and Draco glides over and makes the catch for the out, one gone.
Now batting first baseman number 31, Tyler McLaughlin.
That is now 5 straight sat down by Geerding. As he'll face Tyler McLaughlin here, who reached on an error in his last at-bat. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. McLaughlin 0 for 1 in the game. He hits that in the air deep towards left field, but Smith there. In front of the warning track, lines it up, makes the catch, and there's 2 gone. And all of a sudden now Geerding is not only more effective, but
now batting third baseman number 14, Jack Halloran.
He's starting to get quick outs here, which is important. Again, is the Spartans certainly, I'm sure, looking for him to pitch deep in the game here. Ideally, if you're Case Western Reserve in this game, you don't want to tax your bullpen too much in game 1. As the first pitch down and out, ball 1, although certainly you need a win and you need a pitch to get that win today in this first game. But if you're sort of planning out your day, a doubleheader today, and trying to think game 2, who's going to pitch, as that one comes inside and plunks Halloran on the back, and he'll be on base with a hit by pitch. Ends a streak of 6 straight retired by Geerding. But ideally, if you could somehow come into the second game of the doubleheader with both Horvath and, O'Connor available and well rested, that would give you an edge coming into that game and potentially give you a map on how you could get through that game with some of your better pitchers on the hill. I imagine we'll see Matt Dubois as the Game 4 starter of this series. The count goes to 0-1 on Wolf, who grounded out to the catcher in his first at-bat. Takes that outside for a ball, 1-1. Wolf thought he fouled the ball off of himself when he was up at bat, and so with a little dribbler, Anderson had an easy play at first. When he picked it up, umpire said fair ball. Anderson threw down to first, and Wolf hadn't left the batter's box. 2-1 now, the count on Wolf. Halloran, the runner at first. See if he's moving at all here. He's stolen 6 bases on 7 attempts this year. Fastball misses up and in, 3-1. Don't think we'll see Halloran moving here with a 3-1 count. Not going. And it's fouled off 3-2. So now with the count full and 2 away, Halloran will definitely be running. Three-two pitch upcoming from Geerding to Wolf. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Inning over. Third strikeout of the game for Geerding, who was not allowed a hit since the second batter of the game. We're through 4, or 3.5, I guess, in Case Western Reserve with a 4-2 lead. Smith, Trout, and Andreyko due up. Left fielder, shortstop, center fielder, 6, 7, and 8 in the order when we return. Jay Smith set to lead things off as we begin the bottom of the fourth. Spartans leading 4-2. A little bit of a lighter day so far for the Spartans, who seem to have a bit of a weight lifted off their chest after what has been 2 tough games. Smith takes a strike there, and the count goes to 0-1. Not sure if they call that on the swing or on the pitch itself, which looked to be at the letters as the count's at 0-1. Smith fouls that one off, 0-2. Jay 0 for 1 in the game, flew out to center field to end the first inning. The Spartans scored 3 in that first inning. They added 1 last inning on the Carinci home run. And it's a 4-2 Case Western Reserve lead. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smith down swinging, and that's the first out of the inning.
Shortstop number 14, Matt Trout.
So with 1 gone, the batter will be Matt Trout. Trout singled in his first at bat, hitting at .230 now. And that ball grounded towards third. Fielded there by Halloran. Throw to first. Is in the dirt and gets away. Moving up to second base is Trout. He'll turn the corner there, but will stop. It'll be an error on the throw by the third baseman Halloran, who skips it in the dirt. Normally you could get a pretty predictable bounce at third base from that throw on this turf. But remember, Emory, a team that's not used to playing on turf. There's not a ton of turf fields in the South in general, and Emory plays at Chapel Park, which is not a turfed infield. It's a natural grass infield. So, it's a little bit of an advantage to the home team Spartans here, who know how to play that bounce, especially in the infield. Logan Andreyko at the plate, who grounded out to third base his first time up. They're giving him some space again on the left side of that infield if he could try to take one the opposite way. Behind in the count here, 0-1. And the breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. So runner in scoring position and 1 out for the Spartans, who are looking to add on to a 2-run lead. Andreyko hitting at .233 on the campaign. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. That's down low, 2-1. 7 hits in 29 at-bats, including a double, 4 runs scored. Two-one pitch. Long pause before the delivery, and a swing and a miss from Andreyko as the count goes to 2-2. Reynolds has good stuff, a nice fastball, a good breaking pitch. He certainly had the Spartans swinging at the breaking ball plenty today. Where he's struggled is that he's left a few over the plate. When he does leave it over the plate, he's been hit hard today. 2-2 on the way. Another one fouled off by Andrejko. Count stays at 2-2. Trout was looking active there at second base, but showing no signs of running with one out. Owen Levinson is out on deck as the 2-2 on the way to Andrejko. Swing and a miss. Strike three at the breaking ball in the dirt. And that is the second second out of the inning. Sixth strikeout already for Reynolds. And for Reynolds, that is his season high. So a lot of strikeouts today for the Spartans, but they've been productive at the plate. Nonetheless, as Levinson swings and misses, 0-1. Levinson flew out to center field in his first at bat. Runner at second and 2 away. Chance to extend the lead further for Case Western Reserve. But an 0-1 count on Levinson. Trout takes his lead. The pitch from Reynolds in the dirt. Good block by Katz. And the count goes to 1-1. Now the 1-1. Just misses outside. Boy, Katz did a good job trying to frame that pitch right on the outside corner, but couldn't get the call from the home plate umpire. And now the count at 2-1. 62nd pitch of the game upcoming here for Reynolds. Swung on, fouled off. And the count evens 2-2. Two and two, two away. All twos on the scoreboard as Trout takes his lead. The 2-2 on the way. Swung on, foul back. Levinson just got a piece of that to stay alive. A sun-splashed Nobby's ballpark here in Cleveland, Ohio. I could lie to you and tell you that it's about 75 outside today, and you probably believe me looking at the field. The truth is, it's probably in the 30s right now, getting up to the mid-40s. 2-2. And boy, that was awfully close to being a balk. I guess let's say he disengaged with the mound on that. Reynolds has done a fairly good job controlling the running game today. The 2-2. That one hit softly, shallow center. Schwartz over, and he'll make the catch. And so Levinson retired on the fly ball to center field. The Spartans leave a man on after an error, and will move into the fifth. It's 4-2, Case Western Reserve with the lead. Emory will send their 8-9-1 hitters, Wasserloff, Katz, and Grossman to the plate when we come back. 0-1 the count on Zach Wasserloff, who drew a walk his first time up. Kyle Geerding cruising since giving up a 2-run homer to the second batter of the game. He's looked strong since, now up to just 64 pitches and ahead in the count 0-2 on Wasserloff after the Eagles shortstop takes that pitch as well for a strike. After going outside, Geerding comes inside and Wasserloff fouls that off to stay alive. Got to be coming back out here, right, with that breaking ball. Anderson sets up on the outer portion of the plate. It's the fastball, and he misses down low with it. That's the pitch that's been missing for Geerding today, is trying to get that outside corner fastball as the count goes to 1-2. He has that great run when he's going full blast here. That one swung on, grounded off the fist towards third. Levinson with it, throws to first in time to get the out. So that time, Geerding came with the fastball back in, and it's, again, has that great movement that you could see. Wasserloff just got it off the fist on that, and all he could do was ground it softly over to third base, and a good play by Levinson to make the play, but that's a tough pitch to hit if you could locate your fastball like that. Now squaring a bunt is Katz, and he takes a called strike to start off the at-bat. Katz grounded into 6-4-3 double play to end the second inning. Geerding has allowed just one hit through the first 4 1/3. This is up high, and it's 1-1. Kyle was a guy who last year you could see his potential, but it was clear he needed to fine-tune a few elements of his game. Well, he fine-tuned those pretty well. That one chopped up towards the middle. He'll get through for a base hit. And Geerding allows his first base hit since the first inning. Just his second hit allowed today as Katz, the 9-hitter, is on. And he'll be standing on at first with Jacob Grossman coming to the plate. Grossman 0 for 1, walked and scored a run in the first, flew out to right field his last time up. Double play depth in the infield for the Spartans against Grossman. Called a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 from Geerding. Nice breaking pitch on the inside corner, 0-2. And you can see Geerding feeling it a little bit more right now. He's working from the first base side of the rubber today. As the lead at first by Katz, he delivers. Swung on, grounded towards the hole. That'll get through for a base hit. So 0-2. And Grossman gets one off the end of his bat and sends it through the hole for a single. And all of a sudden, Geerding in some trouble here for the first time, really, all day. As back-to-back singles have put 2 on with 1 away for Henry Polinsky, who has driven in the 2 Emory runs today with a 2-run homer on the second at-bat of the game. It was his first home run of the season. He now has 13 RBIs on the year to go along with a .387 batting average. Big at-bat for him here. The Spartans at double play depth with the shortstop shifted behind the bag to both hold the runner on and to potentially turn the double play with the lefty at the plate. Polinsky takes the first pitch down low, 1-0. At third base, Levinson off the line, inching slowly towards the cutout. As that one grounded down the third baseline, and that'll be an extra base hit. Scoring from second is Katz. Grossman has a chance to score as well. As that gets in the corner, he'll be waved around. Stopping at second is Polinsky, and Polinsky, with his second extra base hit of the day, ties the game at 4-4. So Polinsky has driven in all 4 runs today for Emory. And after cruising through the middle part of his outing, all of a sudden Geerding has allowed 3 straight base hits, all on ground balls, just finding the right spot through the infield. And we're all even, 4-4. So now the batter will be Matthew Sicoli with the potential go-ahead run on at third, and he takes a fastball inside 1-0. So 2 runs in here in the top of the 5th as Emory, which had been quiet since that home run in the first inning, all of a sudden coming roaring back here. Breaking ball for a called strike evens the count 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Runner goes, the pitch in the dirt. And Anderson unable to handle it cleanly. Polinsky may have had the base stolen anyway, as he takes third, and the count goes to 2-1 at the plate. For Polinsky, his 6th stolen base of the season. So now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Infield pulled in for the Spartans as that one sent foul. And it's 2-2 on Sicoli. Big out here if Geerding can find a way to get the strikeout of Sicoli. And that one lined into shallow right. Coming in is Harms, but it drops in front of him. Polinsky had a hold at third, but it won't matter. He'll come in to score the go-ahead run, and Emory leads 5-4. 4 straight hits in the inning have brought across 3 runs for the Eagles. And Emory takes its first lead since going ahead 2-0 in the top of the first. 5-4 now the score. The Eagles with the advantage. Now bring up a dangerous hitter in Ellis Schwartz, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a flyout today. On the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. No action yet in the bullpen for the Spartans, as that one fouled away. 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, and that's through for a base hit. Schwartz sending that through the opposite field. And it's now 5 straight hits, and Emory just hitting it where the Spartans aren't right now. Again, there's nothing that's necessarily been hit particularly hard. It's just balls are being hit where the fielders aren't right now. And I think Geerding on the mound right now just shaking his head a little bit. He's doing what he can. He's been pitching to contact all day into some success, but all of a sudden now in a position where he's allowed 5 straight hits. It started with a single up the middle by the 9-hitter Josh Katz. Then Grossman sent one through the left side. Polinsky with a double over the third base bag. Sicoli with a single on a little bloop into right field, and now Schwartz singles through the left side of the infield. And now runners at first and second and 1 away. And the batter will be Tyler McLaughlin with a chance to really extend this Emory lead further. McLaughlin 0 for 2 in the day, reached on an error in the first, flew out to left field in the fourth. First pitch on the way. Taken down and out for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. 85 pitches now for Geerding. Patrick O'Connor is warming in the bullpen for the Spartans. As that's in the dirt, gets away, but not far enough. Throw down to third, and he's out. So Schwartz moves up a bag, but thrown out trying to move up on a pitch in the dirt is Sokoli. 2-5 on the putout. It was a good read on a ball in the dirt, but the problem was Anderson was able to pick it up pretty quickly and fired one right on target down to third where Levinson applied the tag. So now 2 outs in the inning. And that's in there for a strike to even the count at 2-2. And Geerding, with one more strike, can put an end to this inning and keep it at a 1-run game. 2-2 the count. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball just a bit high, 3-2. First base open. McLaughlin a dangerous hitter, but you got 2 strikes on him, even though it's 3 balls as well. You got to make a good pitch here if you're Geerding. Here's the 3-2 on the way. And he takes it for ball 4, down and out. McLaughlin didn't chase on that breaking pitch outside from Geerding. And that'll make it first and second with 2 away and bring Jack Halloran to the plate. Well, Geerding has got to find a way to keep it at a 1-run game here. Halloran, 0 for 1 in the game, flew out to right field in the first, was hit by a pitch in the fourth. It's called strike 0-1. 6 straight batters have reached for Emory. Nonetheless, Geerding 1 out away from getting through the inning. The 0-1. Fastball, low and out, 1-1. Kyle at 91 pitches now, so I have to imagine this is his last inning for sure and might, one way or the other, be facing his last batter with O'Connor ready to go in the bullpen. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball down and in, 2-1. Three runs across in the inning for Emory. 5 hits in the inning for the Eagles to go along with a walk. 2 on, 2 away, first and second. Schwartz takes his lead from second. McLaughlin from first. Halloran at the plate. Geerding delivers. And it's swung on and missed at for strike 2. Big cut there for Halloran, but couldn't quite catch up to the high fastball. And once again, Geerding a strike away from getting through the inning here without any further damage. Geerding stares down at Anderson. Gets the sign. Now the 2-2. And they'll call a ball there and say Geerding didn't deliver the pitch in time, so an automatic ball. And the count now full, 3-2. Well, let's see if that comes back to bite the Spartans. 3-2. Swung on, chopper, third base. Levinson has it, but can't hold on to it. And it drops in. That'll be an error on Levinson to load the bases up.
Heading to the plate, left fielder number 1, Walker Wolf.
And so now the bases will be loaded here for Walker Wolf, the 9th hitter of the inning for Emory. And a chance for a big hit here. Diving stop at first by Carinci. Throws to Geerding, but it gets away. 1 run in to score, 2 runs in to score. They'll hold the runner at third. But boy, is that costly. So Geerding gets up here. Coach Englander coming out. I'm not sure if this is to check on. No, he'll make the call of the bullpen, and so we'll get a pitching change. 2 more runs come across. It's 7-4, the score when we return. Seven for the score. Emory leading. And we'll get a pitching change here as Patrick O'Connor will take over on the mound. O'Connor, the junior out of Austin, Texas, 6'5", 200-pound righty. Will come into the game with runners at second and third and 2 away. O'Connor's been good this year. 2-1 with a 1.26 ERA through 7 appearances. He has 3 saves. 14 and third innings. He struck out 10, walked just 3. First pitch fastball in the outside corner to Zach Wasserloff, who grounded out to third to start the inning. Since then, 8 batters have followed and 5 runs have come across for Emory. Misses outside, ball 1, 1-1 the count. O'Connor's going to be asked to do some heavy lifting here, which he's had a couple of multiple inning relief appearances this season to some pretty good success. Ground ball, third base. Levinson fields, throws, and it's in time to get the final out of the inning, but the damage done. 5 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors, 2 left on, and we'll move along into the bottom half of the 5th, and now the Spartans back on the losing end of things. 7-4 the score. Top of the order for Case Western Reserve, though, Anderson, Harrison, Harms when we come back. Jack Anderson leading things off. The Spartans' leadoff hitter with a 17-game hitting streak intact after a 1-for-2 performance so far today. Takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. Curveball, lined softly to short. Circling it is Wasserloff. His throw to first, just a step ahead of Anderson for the out. One gone. The ball was hit a little awkwardly and forced Wasserloff to kind of circle around it, which took him an extra second to get to the ball, but he made a perfect throw to get the out, just a step ahead of Anderson, who runs well. And so, one out, bases empty for Josiah Harris, who has a walk and a run scored back in the first and struck out swinging in the third. Curveball misses up high for a ball, 1-0. 7 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for Emory today. 4 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for Case Western Reserve. As Harris swings and misses at that one. Mentioned Harris walked in the first. He struck out swinging in the third. One of 6 strikeout victims today for Reynolds, as that ball chopped down the third baseline foul. A career high, 6 strikeouts for Reynolds. Up and in, 2-2. Reynolds didn't see much action last season. That ball grounded towards third, off the glove and into left field for a base hit. So Harris with his first hit of the game. Good attempt there by Halloran, but would have taken a pretty spectacular play for him to get to that. And now there's a runner on at first, one away for Nick Harms, who hit what appeared to be a home run but was called a single in the first inning. That drove in a run, came around eventually to score a run, and then struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Long ball here could certainly help the Spartans' chances, as a big swing and a miss. Harms, who's always thinking about going deep, I think, took a big cut at that, but came up empty, 0-1. Harms hitting at .378 on the year. 5 home runs. The 0-1. Runner goes. The pitch taken outside for a ball. Throw down to second, not in time. And Harris with a stolen base, and now he's in scoring position. For Harris, that is his 7th stolen base on as many tries this season. Last season, talking about Reynolds, appeared in just 5 games, was 1-0. All 5 of his appearances were out of the bullpen. Harms grounds that one softly to first. Easy play there from McLaughlin, who takes it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning. Harris moves up 90 feet to third, and he'll be standing at third base with 2 away. And that'll bring Zach Carinci to the plate. Carinci 1 for 2 in the game with a solo home run, his first of the season, hit it over the wall and left in his last at bat. Also struck out swinging. Curveball, swing and a miss by Carinci, 0-1. Well, down 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Certainly would be nice if the Spartans could get that runner in from third with 2 outs. Playing Carinci straight up in the infield. He checks his swing there. They'll check with the umpire, but he held up, and the count goes to 1-1. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball off the outside corner, 1-2. And Reynolds now a strike away from working through the inning. The 1-2 pitch. Chopper, third base. Halloran charges, throws on the run, right on target, and the inning's over. So the Spartans unable to bring across the run after a one-out hit by Harris. He's left stranded at third, and we'll move into the sixth. 7-4, Emory with the lead. 9-1 and 2 in their order. Catch Grossman and Polinsky due up when we return. Called strike to start off the at-bat by Katz, and it's an 0-1 count. Katz singled and scored a run in his last at-bat as the count evens 1-1. He's facing Patrick O'Connor. Katz got things going for Emory in the fifth, singling with one out in the frame and began a stretch as that misses outside for a ball, where 8 straight Emory batters reached base. Patrick O'Connor got a ground out to end the inning. Called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. 10 Emory batters came to the plate in the fifth. The only Emory hitter who did not get on base by some way, shape, or form was Zach Wasserloff, who grounded out twice to third base in the inning. Tied up, swinging and missing for strike 3 is Katz, and that's the first out of the sixth. So O'Connor continues his solid pitching, but he'll face the top of the order here with Jacob Grossman coming up. Grossman 1 for 2. He scored 2 runs. A single in his last at bat in the fifth inning as he sent one through the left side of the infield. First pitch from O'Connor. Down and out for a ball. It's 1-0. O'Connor has been the most reliable arm out of the Case Western Reserve bullpen this year, and here he's being asked to keep this game at 3 runs. 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch. Off the plate. 3-0. That's ball 4. So Grossman draws a 4-pitch walk, and he's on at first now, and that'll bring up Henry Polinsky, who's had himself a pretty solid day. Polinsky 2 for 3, a home run, a double, 4 runs batted in, 2 runs scored so far. His 2-run homer in the first gave Emory a 2-0 lead, and then his 2-run double in the fifth tied the game at the time at 4-4. Emory went on to score 3 more runs last inning, and they now lead 7-4. Called strike to Polinsky, who's hitting at .395 on the year, 0-1 the count. Now the 0-1. O'Connor comes set. That one wasted away foul, and it's 0-2. Breaking ball just outside. 1-2 the count. Again, O'Connor in a position where he just really can't allow anything right now. Has to keep this game within reach. Runner goes. The pitch taken outside for a ball. Throw goes down to second. Tag is not in time. And it's a stolen base for Grossman. That is his 9th on as many attempts this season. And the count evens at the plate 2-2. Or is it 3-2 here now? Let's see. Connor ready. First base now open with the pitch on the way. Down low now it's 3-2. Ground ball up the middle, through for a base hit. That should score the run as Andreyko comes up throwing, but it's cut off by the first baseman, Carinci. And that will be an RBI single for Polinsky, who's now a triple shy of the cycle and has driven in 5 so far today. So Grossman, who walked, stole second, and then scores on the single, makes it an 8-4 game. And the batter now will be Matthew Sicoli, 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI hit. Fastball catches the outside corner. It's 0-1. One and one now the count. Fouled off, 1-2. Throw down to first, not in time. Well, it seemed like the Spartans were ready to snap out of their funk early on in this game, but the tide has turned a bit as that one grounded and threw for a base hit. Polinsky was running on the play, but he has to stop at second anyway. A single for Sicoli. Emory's 8th hit of the game, 7 of which have come in the last 2 innings. The Eagles seem to have flipped the switch here. So now Ellis Schwartz, the batter. Schwartz 1 for 3 in the game, a single and a run scored in his last at bat. 2 on, 1 away. Fastball at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Schwartz, a .388 hitter on the year. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-2. On the outside corner, called strike 3. So O'Connor gets a 3-pitch strikeout of Schwartz for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the inning for O'Connor.
Now batting, first baseman number 31, Tyler McLaughlin.
Now Tyler McLaughlin will be the batter with 2 away and 2 on still. McLaughlin drew a walk his last time up and came around to score a run. He's been on base twice after also reaching on an error in the first. He flew out to left field in the fourth. That one got away from O'Connor a bit and misses outside, ball 1. In the dirt, gets away from Anderson. The runner is going to try to move up and no throw. Wild pitch to move up both runners. And it's now second and third and 2 away. And again, a big out here for O'Connor as the Spartans can't afford to allow any more damage. Breaking ball inside corner for a strike, 2-1. We're in the top of the 6th, 8-4, Emory leading. That's down low, 3-1. Emory took a 2-0 lead in the top of the first. The Spartans answered with 3 in the bottom of the first and took a 4-2 lead in the third on a solo home run by Zach Carinci. But Emory since has scored 5 in the 5th, 1 here so far in the 6th. As the count now full 3-2 with second and third and 2 away. McLaughlin at the plate. He leads, or pardon me, is second on this Emory team with 27 runs batted in this season. 3-2 pitch upcoming. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt, strike 3. And that ends the inning. 3 strikeouts in the inning by O'Connor, but he allows a run on 2 hits. 2 men left on, and we move into the bottom of the 6th. Spartans need to get something going. Donahue, Smith, and Trout due up when we return. Sean Donahue, the batter for Case Western Reserve, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout looking and a sacrifice fly that drove in his 5th run of the year and the 3rd run of the game for the Spartans. At the time, it gave Case Western Reserve a 3-2 lead in the first. But since then, things have fallen apart a bit for the Spartans, who now trail by 4, 8-4 the score. Ryan Reynolds, who is now in his 6th inning of work, 78 pitches, his 79th of the day, misses just outside for a ball, 1-0, and now number 80 is a fastball lifted in the air, shallow center field. Schwartz giving chase in, has it lined up, and makes the catch for the first out of the frame, 1 gone. So Donahue retired, and that will bring Jay Smith to the plate, who's 0 for 2 in the game with a fly out and a strikeout swinging. Smith now hitting at .211. Smith due for a base hit here. As he settles in into the left-handed batter's box, the sophomore out of Goshen, Kentucky, takes that on the lower portion of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Donahue made the first out of the inning. He's followed here by Smith, and then Trout batting third. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. Set up way outside his Cats, and taking all the way there is Smith for ball one, 1-2. Cats wanted to see if Smith would chase there. He doesn't. Line drive through for a base hit. So Jay Smith with a one-out single. And trying for second. Here comes the throw, and he's not in time. So a hustle double there for Jay Smith.
Stepping up to bat, shortstop number 14, Matt Trout.
Now the Spartans have a runner at second and one away from Matt Trout, who has been on base twice today, singled in the second, reached on an error in the fourth. Good base running there by Smith as Trout takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Well, the Spartans still have some time to chip away at this lead, but time's certainly running short. Now the 0-1. Off the plate, pardon me. Ball there. Now the 2-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike three as Trout went chasing the pitch outside for the second out of the inning. For Reynolds now, that is 7 strikeouts in the game. And it'll be up to Logan Andreyko, who hits here with a runner at second and 2 away. Andreyko 0 for 2 in the game, a ground out to third and a strikeout swinging. Fastball outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1. That ball lifted in the air towards the gap, right center field, and that one is off the warning track. Smith in to score. Andreyko pulls in at second with an RBI double, and the Spartans back within 3, 8-5 the score. For Andreyko, that is his 3rd RBI of the season, his 2nd double. Smith comes around to score his 8th run of the year. And the Spartans maybe with some life here in the inning as Emory will go to the bullpen and make a pitching change. So pitching change for the Eagles. We'll be back in a minute. It's 8-5. Welcome back to Nobby's Ballpark. It's Case Western Reserve with a runner at second base and 2 away, and we'll face a new pitcher in number 33, Derek Livingston, the junior out of Sands Point, New York. Making his second appearance of the series, Livingston pitched a perfect inning on Thursday during the Emory win as Levinson loops one into shallow right. It drops in for a base hit. Levinson's going to dig for second. He'll pull up short, actually, but coming in from second is Andraco in first pitch swinging. Levinson with a RBI base hit, and it's back to a 2-run game. So a little 2-out production here for the Spartans, who will now send the tying run to the plate, and Jack Anderson, who's 1 for 3 in the game. Anderson hitting a .432 on the year, singled and scored a run in the first, flew out to right in the second, grounded out to short in the fifth. He's hitting here with Levinson on at first, and I got to imagine they'll run Levinson at some point in this at bat. He's 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts this year. Livingston's got to be careful as the first pitch on the outside corner to Anderson for a called strike, 0-1. Especially in a situation with Levinson running, Anderson's got great doubles power and has found the gap plenty of times this year. 13 doubles on the season. He got handcuffed by that one a little bit and fouls it off, and now he's behind the count 0-2 against Livingston. Eight to 6 now the score. The Spartans have gotten back in this one with 2 runs with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pickoff attempt at first. Levinson dives back in, and this is a situation where Case Western Reserve likes to run. You have your best hitter at the plate in an 0-2 hole. You run Levinson here, and either he gets to second or you get a fresh count for Anderson at the plate potentially. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Not going. Fastball fouled off by Anderson. 0-2 still. It's kind of a low-cost situation to try to put the runner in motion here. And so I wouldn't be shocked if we see Levinson running, although so far has shown no signs of going. The 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. It's taken for a ball. Throw well to the shortstop side of the bag. And it's a stolen base. And that's a ball at the plate, so it's 1-2. I think Livingston was a little surprised that wasn't called a strike. Either way, it's a 1-2 count of the plate, and now a runner in scoring position for Anderson, who's driven in a team-high 20 runs this season. Can the Spartans get one more 2-out run across the plate here? The 1-2. Fastball fouled off towards the Emory dugout. It stays at 1-2 on Anderson. Well, Anderson's the guy you wanted the plate in this situation. Again, is driven in 20. Most of those coming out of the leadoff spot in the lineup, which is pretty impressive. Breaking ball swung on, grounded through the infield for a base hit. Levinson comes around third. He'll come in to score. It's bobbled in left field, and that'll allow Anderson to go to second. So an RBI for Anderson, and it's a 1-run game. So some pretty good hitting there by Anderson with 2 strikes. He drives in his 21st run of the year, moves up to second base on the misplay in left field. And all of a sudden now the Spartans have the potential game-tying run in scoring position for Josiah Harris. Harris singled in his last at-bat. He's hitting a .293 on the year. And he swings and fouls that one off 0-1. Harris should get some pitches to hit here because the last thing you want if you're Livingston is to put the runner on, even with first base open, with Harms waiting out on deck. You have to pitch aggressively against Harris here, and that means Harris is going to get some opportunities to potentially drive in the run with a base hit. That one a fastball down Main Street, and the count goes to 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 1-2. And that's on the outside corner. Strike three taken by Harris. So the Spartans leave the potential game-tying runner stranded in scoring position, but they do score 3 runs on 4 hits and an error and gets them right back in the game. It's now 8-7. Emory with a 1-run lead as we move into the 7th. Halloran, Wolf, and Wasserloff due up when we return for Emory. Again, 8-7. Eagles with the lead. Eight seven, Emory with the lead. Case Western Reserve has gotten themselves back in this game with a 3-run bottom of the 6th. We move into the latter third of the game, and it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Emory. Halloran, Wolf, and Wasserloff to face O'Connor as he will look for a quick inning here. This is one of those innings where if you're O'Connor, if you can get through it quickly, get your bats back to work, it's kind of a momentum shifter, but you need to keep momentum flowing in your direction. A called strike to start off Halloran as the count goes to 0-1. Halloran 0 for 2 in the game. Swung on, grounded towards short. Trout. One gone. They'll bring up Walker Wolf with one away.
Now batting, number 1, the left fielder, Walker Wolf.
Wolf has been on base twice, was hit by a pitch, been on base once, reached on an error in his last at bat. 2 runs came across on that play. As that one swung on, foul back, 0-1.
Okay. Oh, darn. That's why you post everything. Say something to me. Am I wrong? Okay.
Again, a big inning here for O'Connor, who is now 34 pitches deep into his day. This is one of those shutdown innings that if you can get them and get your bats back up to the plate, it just changes the feeling of the ball game a bit. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside corner, called strike 3. Wolf caught looking. For O'Connor, whose strikeout numbers have been down this season, that's his 4th through 2 innings today. He's retired 4 straight hitters now, and that will bring up Zach Wasserloff with the bases empty and a chance for O'Connor for that quick inning here in the 7th. First pitch on the way from O'Connor. Down and out for a ball, 1-0. Wasserloff hitting at .333 on the season, 0 for 2 in the game today, walked back in the second inning, and since has grounded out to third base twice, both of those coming in the fifth inning. 2-0 the count. He was the only Emory hitter to not reach base in that fifth inning, and he accounted for 2 outs during the frame. That one's outside for ball 3, 3-0. So after throwing his first 5 pitches of the inning all in the strike zone and getting 2 outs, O'Connor goes 3-0 and now walks Wasserloff on 4 pitches. And that'll bring Josh Katz to the plate, who struck out in his previous at-bat against O'Connor back last inning to start off the frame. Katz 1 for 3 in the game, a single and a run scored in the 5th. Since then, he's also hit into a double play and struck out swinging. First pitch on the way. Outside ball 1. And all of a sudden, O'Connor has thrown 5 straight out of the strike zone. Now the 1-0. Throw down to first, not in time. On the way from O'Connor. Up high, gets away from Anderson. The runner is going to try to move up and does. That'll count as a pass ball against Jack Anderson. And there's a runner at second now with 2 away. Called strike. And it's 2-1. Two-one pitch. At the knees, called strike, 2-2. Outside for a ball. So the count full, 3-2. First base open with 2 outs in the inning, but the 9-hitter Katz at the plate, and so certainly if you're O'Connor here, you want to attack him, but can't give him something too easy to hit here. With a runner in scoring position and 2 away, the 3-2 pitch, and it just misses inside, ball 4. And so the second straight walk issued by O'Connor, and there's now 2 on and 2 away. There is action in the bullpen for the Spartans. Can't see who that is right now. Would imagine Tyler Horvath, probably the next in line. As that went outside, good job by Anderson to keep that in front of him. 1-0 the count. That is Tyler Horvath warming up as Anderson will head out to the mound to talk to O'Connor here. This might be the last batter for O'Connor, one way or the other. And he may not even get this batter. Matt Englander heading out. He hasn't made the call of the bullpen yet, but, well, maybe he has. Is Horvath walking in from the bullpen? That'll be it for O'Connor. It'll be Horvath coming in, facing the leadoff hitter Grossman with 2 on and a 1-0 count when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for Case Western Reserve will be Tyler Horvath. Horvath, a junior out of Twinsburg, Ohio, 5'9", 190-pound righty. The preseason All-America first-team reliever has struggled a little bit more this year after last year, what was a really, really nice season for Horvath. He earned preseason, again, All-America honors. Was an All-America second-team selection last year. This year, 0-2 with a 3.75 ERA through 9 appearances. He does have 4 saves. In 12 innings of work, he's given up 11 hits, a 229 opponent's average, 12 strikeouts in as many innings, 9 walks, though, that have come back to bite him. He's allowed 8 runs, only 5 of them earned, making his first appearance in a week after he pitched both ends of the doubleheader against Wash U last week. It's a 1-0 count with Grossman at the plate. Horvath working here with 2 runners on in a situation where he's got to get this batter out. Very least can't allow the run to score. First pitch fastball there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Talked about it before, but the importance of getting through a clean inning here and letting the Spartan Bats go back to work after getting back in this game. Case Western Reserve trailed 8-4 heading into the bottom of the 6th, but scored 3 runs with 2 outs in the inning to pull back within a run, and you'd hate to give a run back here. The 1-1 to Grossman. Curveball, foul, and out of play, and it's 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. Horvath stares in now. Set to deliver a big 1-2 on the way. Fastball. Fouled back. It appeared that Anderson had set up on the outside corner of the plate, and I think Horvath missed his spot, but that fastball's still good enough to get Grossman to foul it off. And so the count stays at 1-2. Here's the 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Horvath took something off of that and had Grossman out in front, and that ends the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on. And the Spartans Bats go back to work here with the heart of the order coming up in the 7th. Harms, Corinthian, Donahue. Case Western Reserve trails by just a run. 8-7 the score when we come back. Welcome back again. Is Case Western Reserve University coming to bat down a run? Some defensive changes for the Eagles as Matthew Sicoli moves in from right to play first base. Taking over in right field, entering the game will be number 35, Nick Sullo, the first year out of Houston, Texas. He'll be hitting out of the 2 spot for the DH Polinsky. And then moving from first base to the pitcher's mound is Tyler McLaughlin, who is a 6'3", 205-pound junior out of Milton, Georgia. We'll give you some numbers on McLaughlin here in a second, who will start things off against Nick Harms, as Harms tries to hold up but can, and the count goes to 0-1. On the season, McLaughlin, through 8 appearances, 1-0, as a swing and a miss there, with yet to allow an earned run. He's given up just 2 hits, struck out 14, walked 5 through 8 2/3 innings, an 0.74 opponent's batting average, and 3 saves. So he's been really good. That one's fouled off, and the count goes to 1-2. And I imagine here he'll be asked to probably throw the last 3 innings of this game. It's an and a swing and a miss there. And that'll be strike 3. So McLaughlin gets the strikeout. Harms retired, and now bring up Zach Carinci. Carinci hitting at .317 on the year. As that one's fouled back, 0-1. Carinci 1 for 3 with a solo home run in the 3rd. He's also struck out and grounded out in his 2 other trips to the plate today. The 0-1 on the way. One and one. Now the 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball. Nice curve for a strike. And it's 1-2. McLaughlin looking sharp here early on. And again, it's probably going to have to go deeper than he's gone in any game this year. They'll be looking for him to get the final 3 today. 3 innings, that is, as that's in the dirt for a ball. And so I would imagine beneficial here if you're the Spartans to make McLaughlin work early on in this outing. It's a 2-2 count. Fastball fouled off. Nice pitch. And a good job to stay alive there by Carinci. Now the 2-2. Fastball at the knees, called strike 3. And Carinci down looking. So there's 2 gone now. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. For Emory pitching now, that is 10 strikeouts on the day. 7 for the starter Reynolds, 1 for Livingston, and 2 so far through 2/3 of an inning for McLaughlin. And he'll face Sean Donahue with the bases empty and 2 outs. Donahue, first pitch swinging, sends it foul, 0-1. Donahue hitting at 154, 0 for 2 on the day with an RBI on a sacrifice fly. 8-7 the score. Emory leading by a run here in the bottom of the 7th, the 0-1. Swung on chopper, back to the mound. McLaughlin has it. Donahue, well, they'll call it foul. A late foul call by the umpire there, but foul nonetheless, as it might have gone off of Donahue's foot, and it's a 0-2 count now on Sean, who will retreat to the plate. Here's the 0-2. So both teams onto their closers now. As that one grounded softly to third. Halloran with it. Throw on to first in time to get the out. And a quick 7th inning for McLaughlin, who throws 12 pitches to get 3 outs, including a pair of strikeouts. And we'll move to the 8th. It'll be 8-7 the score. Emory leading 2, 3, and 4 in their order. Sullo, Sicoli, and Schwartz due up when we return.
minutes, and then the second game went until like 12 minutes.
8-7 the score. Emory leading Case Western Reserve as we move to the 8th. Much closer game here in Game 3 of the series than we had in the previous two. It'll be Sullo, Sokoli, and Schwartz as Sullo gets his first at bat of the day, coming in for Polinsky on the moves earlier in the day, or earlier in the inning, I should say. As he squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike. Polinsky had himself a big day, but with McLaughlin moving from first to the mound, Polinsky had to be removed from the game. Now the 0-1, and that's up high, 1-1. Well, the Spartans now back within a run, but they have their work cut out for them against one of the better relievers in the conference, if not the country this year, in Tyler McLaughlin. That one misses inside, 2-1. Now the 2-1 from Horvath, who came in to get the final out last inning. That's down and out, ball 3, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Called strike. Full count, 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way from Horvath. Swung on, fouled. Count stays at 3-2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Horvath gets the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts to start Horvath's day.
Now batting first baseman number 18, Matthew Sicoli.
Well, fun here as we get a matchup between two of the better relievers in all of Division III going against each other. We'll see if either breaks here down the stretch of this one. Emory just has to hold serve as that fastball misses maybe a bit low for a ball. 1-0 the count on Sokoli, who is 2 for 4 in the game with an RBI single. Also singled in the 6th. So a couple hits today for Sokoli. Curve misses outside, 2-0. That one up and in, 3-0. So Horvath falls behind. Some dangerous hitters to follow with Schwartz and McLaughlin due up. Called strike, 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by Horvath, and as we mentioned before, walks have been an issue for him. That's the 7th walk, by the way, for Spartan pitching through 7 1/3 innings today. And it comes at a costly time with Ellis Schwartz stepping to the plate. Schwartz, on the day, 1 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts, has only hit a single and a run scored that came in the 5th. Part of that big 5-run 5th for the Eagles that turned the tide of this game. That pitch, a letter high strike, 0-1. Sokoli, 2 stolen bases on 3 attempts this season. big swing for Schwartz. The throw goes down to second and into center field. Not sure what happened there, as it looked like Trout just slow to cover. It's an 0-2 count at the plate, but a delayed steal that pays off. It's a stolen base and an error on the throw. So that's the fourth error of the game for the Spartans. So 0-2 now, runner at third base. Infield pulled in for the Spartans. The pitch up high for a ball, and it's 1-2. Could be a costly run here if it comes across. Well, it doesn't on that one as Horvath gets a swing and a miss from Schwartz. It's the second out of the inning. Third strikeout for Horvath that will allow the Spartans to move the infield back to normal depth with 2 outs now and move the pressure here to McLaughlin, who is now the pitcher in this game, trying to record the save and has a chance to give himself a little bit more breathing room with a base hit. So Coley, the runner at third. McLaughlin has been on base twice today, once on an error, once on a walk. And he takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. The Spartans have held McLaughlin in check for the most part this series. 0 for 4 in the first game, 1 for 3 in the second game, and 0 for 3 today. The 0-1 just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So McLaughlin can help his own cause here with a base hit, but swings over that one, and now it's a 1-2 count, and Horvath can work around the walk, stolen base, and error, and leave the runner stranded at third with one more strike. And in the count, 1-2 is Horvath. Shakes off a sign from Anderson, now gets a pitch he likes, delivers. Fastball in the dirt, swung on and missed out for strike 3. Anderson's going to have to complete the play at first. He does. And that ends the inning. So a big strikeout there for Horvath, who had a runner at third and one away and gets back-to-back strikeouts. All 4 of his outs in this game have come via strikeouts. And we'll move into the bottom of the 8th. The Spartans trail by a run. 8-7 the score. Smith, Trout, and Andreyko due up when we return. Well, the Spartans have 6 more outs to work with, but they'll have to accomplish getting a run across against a tough pitcher in McLaughlin, who had a chance to help his own cause, but couldn't get the run across from third last inning as he struck out to end the frame. And now for the Spartans, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in their lineup will step up here. Smith, Trout, and Andreyko. Pardon me, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup, Smith, Trout, and Andreyko, due up this inning. Smith hitting a .224, doubled and got a Spartan rally started. His last at bat in the 6th inning, takes the first pitch, fastball down and in, 1-0. McLaughlin threw 12 pitches in the first inning. Smith fits that one foul, and it's 1-1. Get you some more information here on McLaughlin, the junior out of Milton, Georgia. Has a swing and a miss at a good changeup there, brings the count to 1-2. For his career, a 2.68 ERA. He's made 16 appearances over his career, including 6 starts, 3-3. That one, boy, just misses, and it's 2-2. Good eye there by Smith. He has gone more than one inning only once this year. Pitched 2 against Wittenberg in a 6-4 win. Curveball just misses. Boy, McLaughlin going the full arsenal here. He's got that curve, a slider, a changeup, a good fastball. It's a 3-2 count. Got to imagine he's coming fastball here to Smith. Let's see. Fastball below the knees, ball 4. McLaughlin upset he didn't get the benefit of that call, and the Spartans have the leadoff man on here representing the potential game-tying run. And I think we'll get a pinch runner here. Indeed, we will, as Connor Stevenson will take over for Smith. And Smith, who's always got a smile on his face, pumped up and trying to get the team pumped up as he heads back to the dugout. So the pinch runner takes over for Smith. That's Connor Stevenson, who's one of the faster runners on the team. Mentioned earlier in the weekend that Stevenson actually missed all of last season after he entered a track and field meet as an open competitor and hurt his leg, missed the entire season. So he's that kind of an athlete, and in this situation where a run makes a difference, I got to imagine we're going to see Stevenson moving at some point. Trout at the plate, a 222 hitter, awaits the first pitch. He squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes it down and in, and Stevenson was running on the play and takes second base on the steal, and I believe that was a ball at the plate. So 1-0 count. Runner is at second now, the potential game-tying run. Trout awaits the 1-0. Pickoff attempt to second. Almost goes into center field, but Gross has to come and grab it. McLaughlin has issued 5 walks through 8 innings this season, so control maybe a little bit of an issue for him. That's his 6th walk now issued. As Trout squares to bunt, and he bunts it foul. That pitch came in. Good job by McLaughlin to try to jam him on that, and Trout trying to move out of the way takes that one off the fists. You can see he's kind of shaking off that right hand. Coach Englander coming over to make sure he's okay. He's going to take that batting glove off and see. Trout is wearing those Bolt batting gloves. And those are pretty, you're starting to see a lot of major leaguers wear those batting gloves, and they give you a little bit of extra padding. They're supposed to be really comfortable. And frankly, in a situation like that, they're the Bruce Bolt batting gloves. A really interesting story behind them. So they're kind of made by a small company. But those gloves, the quality of them is excellent, and honestly, might have helped give a little extra protection to that finger here for Trout, who settles back in, squares the bunt, and gets it down the first baseline. Will it stay fair? No, it trickles foul. Well, that one almost hugged the line at first, and again, a little bit of a excuse me bunt, if you will, by Trout, who had to fend off a couple of tough inside pitches from McLaughlin there, fouled them both off on the bunt, and now let's see what Coach Englander flashes the sign to do here. I got to imagine Trout is swinging away now with nobody out in a 1-2 count. Let's see. He is, and he fouls that one back. Count stays at 1-2. It's been all fastballs so far from McLaughlin to Trout, but again, some of that was to stave off the bunt attempt, and he did so successfully. That inside fastball is just a tough pitch to try to bunt, especially when you're trying to move a runner from second to third. Got to imagine he'll mix something off speed in here. 1-2. Trout again squaring a bunt, gets it down nicely down the third base side. McLaughlin has it, his throw to first just in time to get the out. But the runner does move up on the play, and Trout, bunting with 2 strikes, gets it down successfully. It'll go as a sacrifice bunt, although, frankly, Trout might have been looking to bunt for a base hit there as much as anything based on where he placed it, but caught the Emory defense by surprise a little. McLaughlin did a good job to field it. And now the potential game-tying run just 90 feet away at third with Logan Andreyko coming to the plate. A meeting on the mound here as Emory head coach Mike Twardowski comes out. Andreyko just needs to make contact here. We'll see how the Emory infield plays it, but I have to imagine they'll be pulled in to try to cut the run down. I know that traditionally Emory and Coach Twardowski not a fan of pulling the infield in, but he'll have to do that in this situation with the tying run 90 feet away. Andreyko 1 for 3 in this game, had a big RBI double in his last at bat. We'll see what he's doing here with 1 out and a runner at third. First pitch fastball down and in, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Andreyko out in front of the changeup there, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 out, potential game-tying run at third for the Spartans here in the 8th. Just misses for ball 2, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit towards second. The throw will come home. The tag is in time for the out. They'll call Stevenson out on the play. Thought for a second he might have gotten his foot in there. He was moving on contact. And that'll go as a 4-2 putout. Fielder's choice for Andreyko for the second out of the inning. Great play by Grossman at second base to get the ball there cleanly. Katz applied the tag, and that is a huge second out. And so now the potential game-tying run on at first with Owen Levinson coming to the plate. 2 outs in the inning. Throw down to first, trying to catch Andreyko off guard, but he dives back in. Andreyko 2 stolen bases on 3 attempts this year. Up high for a ball. Well, you don't get very many chances against McLaughlin. And that was a golden one for the Spartans that they couldn't cash in on. We'll see if they can rally another opportunity here with the 1-0 on the way. Swing and a miss by Levinson, 1-1. The one chance, I think, or one of the important things to realize about the Spartans is that they do have McLaughlin now about to throw his 30th pitch of the game. That's inside. 2-1. And again, he has thrown more than 1 inning in a game just once this season. And so, certainly, you have to be watching for fatigue here as that ball running on the play is Andreyko, and they'll throw him out on it. Tag applied by the shortstop. And that ends the inning. So Andreyko caught stealing, and that ends the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. We will move to the 9th. Case Western Reserve trailing by a run when we come back. One-run game as we enter the ninth. The Spartans had a chance in their half of the eighth, but could not get the run across from third with one out. And now we move to the ninth. It remains a one-run game. Tyler Horvath worked around a one-out walk in the eighth inning. And a swing and a miss on the first pitch to Jack Halloran. It'll be Halloran, Wolf, and Wasserloff do up some defensive changes for the Spartans behind Horvath, as Connor Stevenson stays in the game to play left. Tim Demetris comes in at third base, and Owen Levinson shifts from third to short, so Trout out of the game. Owen to the count. Horvath ready. Pitch to Halloran. Swing and a miss. Strike three. So Horvath now has gotten 5 outs in this game. All of them have been strikeouts. That's now 12 strikeouts in the game for Spartan pitching. Emory with 10 strikeouts from their staff today. Walker Wolf will be the batter, hitting at .229 on the year. He's 0 for 4 in the game today. And swings at the changeup, 0-1. The Spartans will have their 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up. Levinson, Anderson, and Harris. As that one grounded to second. Harris there. Throws on to first in time to get the out. Harms due up fourth in the inning, and again, with his power, the Spartans would love to get him to the plate. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw a pinch hitter for Levinson, although he has swung the bat well this season. Zach Wasserloff will be the batter here with 2 outs and the base is empty. First pitch, curve just a little outside, 1-0. It's been a good outing for Horvath. Fastball, first strike, 1-1. And a nice bounce back for him after his rocky outing against WashU last week. He has looked sharp today. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive to short. Levinson there, and he puts that one away for the out. And that ends the inning, so we move to the bottom of the ninth. Spartans trailing by a run, coming up to bat here with their last chance. It'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the order due up. Levinson, Anderson, and Harris when we return. Stephen Hunt takes over in left field for Emory as Tyler McLaughlin begins his third inning of work and hoping to close out a 3-inning save, working with a 1-run lead, starting things off against Levinson, who was at the plate last inning When Andrejko was caught stealing, he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Again, longest outing of the year now for McLaughlin. That one misses for a ball, 1-1. He's yet to allow an earned run this season. Has allowed just one total run, and trying to protect that lead here as that misses down and in, 2-1. He's allowed just a walk in this game today. Worked around trouble last inning with a runner at third and one away. As that ball swung on in the air, shallow center. Schwartz over and almost overruns it, but reaches up on a hop, makes a grab for the out, one gone. That ball traveled a little, caught Schwartz by surprise, but he's able to put it away for the first out of the inning. And so the Spartans down to their final 2 outs, and now that'll bring up Jack Anderson. In a good matchup here, Anderson is 2 for 4 in the game with a pair of base hits. And that up and in, and the count goes to 1-0. Anderson hitting at .438 on the season. Pitch in the dirt, 2-0. 8 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors today for Emory. 7 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors for Case Western Reserve. Spartans trying for a comeback here. Anderson swinging at the 2-0, fouls it off, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 to Anderson. On the inside corner with the fastball, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. And it's popped up. Shallow right. Trailing towards foul territory. Over along the line and in fair territory, making the catch is the right fielder Sullo, and that will be the second out of the ninth, and the Spartans down to their final out. That'll bring Josiah Harris to the plate, who will be looking to get on any way possible to keep the game alive here for Nick Harms, who is out on deck. Harris hitting at .286 on the year, 1 for 3 in the game today, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a single. First pitch to Harris. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2, and the Spartans are down to their final strike. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the game. So Harris goes down on 3 pitches. A 3-inning save for the reliever McLaughlin, who has a nice outing, and Emory takes their 3rd game of this series as the Eagles improve to 16-9 overall. Case Western drops its 4th straight to drop to 10-11 on the year. Emory now 5-1 in UAA play, while the Spartans drop to 2-5. Winning pitcher was the starter, Ryan Reynolds, who's now 4-2. The save goes to Tyler McLaughlin. For McLaughlin, that is save number 4 on the season. And the loss goes to Kyle Geerding. Geerding will fall to 4-1. That's his first loss of the season. Game lasted 2 hours and 52 minutes. And we will be back with you shortly for the final game of this series, which will begin in a little bit. Again, probably about half an hour or so. I'm sure the teams will be in a rush to get things going here. Again, final score, 8-7. We'll be back in a little bit with Game 4 of the series when we return.